General Mathematics Performance Task 1.3 by Group 7. Meglloyd, Ralph, Roniette, and Kaia.
So number 1, we are tasked to formulate two word problems modeled by the equation y equals 5,000 multiplied by the quantity of 1 plus 0.4 to the power of x. Since we are given an equation, all we need to do is determine and substitute each value given to formulate the problem. So for problem 1, we have a game given that there are 5,000 participants, and for every round, the number of succeeding players decreases at a rate of 40%. So we have to find the number of players left after completing 5 rounds. And for problem 2, we have the same value since we are using the same exponential model. In this problem, we have to find the price of a RAM after 5 years, given that its value is 5,000 pesos with a decreasing rate of 40% every year. Number 2, in this problem, we are tasked to describe the transformations of the following functions in a, b, and c. So to do this, we compare the function of the parent to the parent function or the base and check to see if there are horizontal or vertical shifts, reflection about the x-axis or y-axis, and if there is a vertical stretch or shrink. So for letter A, the graph f of x equals 2 to the power of x plus 1 minus 1 has a horizontal and vertical translation, which shifts the graph 1 unit to the left and 1 unit downward. For letter B, the graph f of x equals 1/4 to the power of negative x plus 2 has a vertical translation and reflection, which shifts the graph 2 units upward and flips over y-axis. And then for letter C, the graph f of x equals 1/2 multiplied by the quantity of 7 to the power of x has a vertical shrink, which shrinks the graph towards the x-axis by 1/2 unit.
In number 3, in this given problem, we're tasked to find the total amount of students in from the exponential for the next 5 years. First, we have to identify that this given problem is an exponential growth. We recognize it having an increase of numbers as time goes on. So let us find the values first, where our rate is increasing of 150 students per year and the principal amount is 7,000, and let our x be the interval. In order to find the total amount of the students, let us have this formula first, where the principal amount plus the product of x or intervals and the rate of students increasing per year. Then we're going to substitute the formula. As you have noticed, we're going to use the PEMDAS rule, where we're going to multiply first the interval and the rate given, then the product would be 750. Then we're going to add the principal amount from the product, then in order to find total population of students. Therefore, the total population of student exponential university for the next 5 years with 7,750, where there is an increase of 150 students per year. In number 4, in this given problem, we're tasked to find the value of our property for the next 10 years. First, we identify that this given value is an exponential growth, where we recognize it and having an increase of value as time goes on. So let us find our value, where our rate is increasing 100,000 per year. Our principal amount is 1,500,000, and let our x be the number of years or interval. In order to find the total value of our property, let's have this formula first. The principal amount plus the product of x or interval and the rate of our money increasing per year. Then substitute the formula. So you have noticed we're gonna use the PEMDAS rule. We're gonna multiply first the number of years from the rate given. Then the product would be 1 million. Next, we're gonna add the principal amount from our product, then in order to find the final answer. Therefore, the value of our property would be worth 2,500,000 after 10 years, where there was an increase of 100,000 per year.
Number 5. In this given problem, we are tasked to find the value of my house in 7 years if its value is rising by 5% per year. All we have to do is identify the given values. So we have A for initial amount, which is 2 million pesos, R for rate, which is 5% or 0.05 in decimal form, and T for time, which is 7 years. We can clearly see that this problem involves exponential growth because of the word rising. First, let's identify the exponential growth formula, then substitute our given values. Second, let's find the sum of the values inside the parentheses and convert the decimal into a fraction. Third, we apply the power of a fraction rule according to the laws of exponent. In order for us to raise a fraction to a power, we need to raise the numerator and denominator to that power. Lastly, we need to calculate the product to get the final answer. Therefore, the value of my house will be 2,814,200 pesos and 85 centavos in 7 years. Number 6. In this given problem, we are tasked to find the cost of sugar in 8 weeks, which price is increasing 2% per week. All we have to do is identify the given values. So we have A for initial amount, which is 20 pesos, R for rate, which is 2% or 0.02 in decimal form, and T for time, which is 8 weeks. We can clearly see that this problem involves exponential growth because of the word increasing. First, let's identify the exponential growth formula, then substitute our given values. Second, let's find the sum of the values inside the parentheses and convert the decimal into a fraction. Third, we apply the power of a fraction rule according to the law of exponent. In order for us to raise a fraction to a power, we need to raise the numerator and denominator to that power. Lastly, we need to calculate the product to get the final answer. Therefore, the price of sugar will cost 23 pesos and 43 centavos after 8 weeks. Number 7. In this given problem, we are tasked to find the price of rice in 6 months if its value is decreasing by 5% per month. All we have to do is identify the given values. So we have A for initial amount, which is 32 pesos, R for rate, which is 5% or 0.05 in decimal form, and T for time, which is 6 months. We can clearly see that this problem involves exponential decay because of the word decreasing. First, let's identify the exponential decay formula, then substitute our given values. Second, let's find the difference of the values inside the parentheses and convert the decimal into a fraction. Third, we apply the power of a fraction rule according to the laws of exponent. In order for us to raise a fraction to a power, we need to raise the numerator and denominator to that power. Lastly, we need to calculate the product to get the final answer. Therefore, the price of rice will be 23 pesos and 52 centavos in 6 months.
Number 8. The value of your car is decreasing by 10% each year. If your car is worth 1,200,000 today, what will it be in 4 years? First, this problem is an exponential decay factor, as the car is decreasing 10% each year. Our A, or our initial amount, is 1,200,000. Our rate is 10%, or if you convert it into decimal, it will be 0.1, and our T, or time in years, is 4. Our formula is y is equals to A multiplied to the quantity of 1 minus r raised to t. We substituted our initial amount, rate, and time in years, so it will be 1,200,000 multiplied to the quantity of 1 minus 0.1 raised to the 4th power, and the answer is y is equals to 787,320. Therefore, the value of my car 4 years from now is 787,320 pesos. Number 9. The initial population of Barangay 127 is 10,000 people. Barangay 127 grows at a constant rate of 10% each year. How many people are there in Barangay 127 after 4 years? First, this problem is an exponential growth factor as it grows at a constant rate of 10%. Our A, or our initial amount, is 10,000. Our rate is 10%, or if you convert it into decimal, it will be 0.1. And our time, or T, is 4. Our formula is y is equals to A multiplied to the quantity of 1 plus r raised to t. We substituted our initial amount, rate, and time in years, so it will be 10,000 multiplied to the quantity of 1 plus 0.1 raised to the 4th power, and the answer is y is equals to 14,641. Therefore, there will be 14,641 people in Barangay 127 in 4 years. Number 10. The price of fuel has been rising with inflation at 4% per year. A liter of diesel was 43 pesos a year ago. What is it now? First, This problem is an exponential growth factor, as it's specified here that it's rising with an inflation of 4%. Our A, or the initial amount, is 43.00, or 43 pesos. Our rate is 4%, or if you convert it to decimal, it will be 0.04. And our T, or time in years, is 1. Our formula is y is equals to A multiplied by the quantity of 1 plus r raised to t. We substituted our initial amount, rate, and time in years, so it will be 43.00 multiplied to the quantity of 1 plus 0.04 raised to 1, and the answer is y is equals to 44.72 pesos. Therefore, the price per liter of diesel now is 44.72 pesos.
Thank you from Group 7 of STEM Marconi.